Hey guys, God, you made us for the Hey, Hey, all my Swahili, non-Swahili speakers, that's just to God. Touch me, please, touch me, Lord. Heal me, Lord. Let me turn down this music. So, guys, there's gonna be an awesome, awesome live. Somebody said I'm unavailable till June. I've been telling you guys to go ahead and schedule that consultation. You don't listen to me. Today I'm going live for the first time in a very long time, also on TikTok. Hi, TikTok. Hi, guys. How's it going? How y'all feeling? Anyway, today we have an awesome, awesome live. I just want to remind y'all that filing fees are going up in, I would say 3-4 days now. On Monday, April 1st, filing fees are skyrocketing. Okay, I talked about this on Tuesday, but because of the emergency, I needed to come and talk about that again. So, frequently asked questions. I'm answering frequently asked questions. Are filing fees really going up? Absolutely, especially for adjustment of status through marriage. They are going to double. For adjustment of status through marriage, they're currently $1,760. That's $1,760. All right, but for adjustment of status through marriage on April 1st, they're going to be $3,035. Again, $3,035 for adjustment of status to marriage. Guys, that's a lot. That's a that's a lot of money. Some lawyers charge that amount. That's what you would charge. You would pay some lawyers, not me, but that's what you would charge. You'd pay some lawyers to do your case, $3,000. So if you're in the process of submitting your adjustment of status to marriage case, that's when your spouse is the one who's petitioning for you. Go ahead and get that out. For VAWA, I just came back on Tuesday and corrected myself and said for VAWA, it looks like all fees are going to be waived. I kid you not. And I'm so excited about this. For VAWA, for T visa, U visa, for all humanitarian based applications, it does look like the fees are going to be completely waived. Woo-hoo! But I always, like I said on Tuesday, don't quote me on this yet because on April 1st, they're going to file. No, sorry, they're going to file the actual filing fee. Like, they're going to post the actual filing, new schedule filing fees on the USCIS website. So all my current clients, I know y'all feel bad. I know, I'm so sorry. But it seems like 2024 is that year. And April is that year for people. So for come April 1st, if you're filing for VAWA, for T visa is human trafficking visa. If you're filing for U visa, that's if you've experienced any crime on U.S. soil and you show that you help the authorities, find the perpetrator. So that's U visa and any other humanitarian-based visa. So that's VAWA, T visa, U visas, any other humanitarian-based visa. In other words, any visa that you don't really get by right, but because of some problem, some issue you experience while on American soil, VAWA being the chief amongst those, you should. The new codification states that they're not going to charge you any fees at all until they make a final decision on your case. Let me repeat that. On April 1st, it does look like for any humanitarian based application, including VAWA, T visa, U visa, any type of humanitarian based application. In other words, an application that's filed because of something you experienced on American soil, like VAWA, like T visa, like U visa, they are not going to charge you anything at all until they make a final decision on your adjustment of status case. Okay, so in other words, if you're adjusting your status through VAWA, through T visa, through U visa, come April 1st going forward, you should really pay nothing at all. Do not quote me on this. I told you that they're going to issue a final rule because they've sent out so many different things. There's been so much confusion. USCIS said that they're going to send a final codification, a final fee schedule on April 1st. The last time they did a fee increase, that was 2016. It had to be 2016. And even back then, I remember it happened the same exact way. There were lots of questions, and then on December, I think it went effect. It should be December 23rd. On December 23rd, 2016, USCIS then at that time did an actual, like put on their website the actual final fee schedule. So April 1st, it does look like VAWA, U visa, T visa, any humanitarian based application for adjustment of status will be completely waived. Hey, shout out to my VAWA folks. Anyway, I'm so happy about that. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other thing I want to state, I mean, we're talking about frequently asked questions. People always ask me still to this day, what is VAWA? So if you know what VAWA is, tell the people that don't know. If you know what VAWA is, go ahead and type chat on the chat. Tell the people that don't know. Let's see who has been following me for all these years. VAWA simply stands for Violence Against Women Act. It's a way to adjust your status. It's a way of you getting your green card, work permit, travel permit, and even protection from deportation based on the problems you have experienced in your marriage. It applies to both men and women. And I've always said for these many years that the majority of my clients are men. Thankfully, over the years, last year and this year, I'm getting more women to actually trust the process and file for VAWA. I've done a series of talks about why women don't file for VAWA when they qualify. We obviously, in many situations, do qualify for VAWA, but women are usually just very, very, for many reasons and for valid reasons, sometimes are usually scared to get to the point where they file for VAWA. But let me use this as a point to say that if you file for VAWA, you're not harming your spouse in any way. And I always say that, especially if you file for VAWA through me, you're not filing for VAWA based on something that's false, right? You're filing for VAWA based on things you've actually gone through, problems, issues, toxicity, abuse that you've actually experienced. And so when you look at it that way, you're not harming anyway. It's not going to affect your spouse in any way. It's not going to harm him or her in any way. And in fact, they don't even have to know that you filed for VAWA unless you tell him. There's no way your spouse can find out you filed for VAWA unless you tell your spouse. So that's VAWA. Now, VAWA applies to you in many contexts. I just talked about the marital context. VAWA actually also applies to parents who are abused by an adult citizen child who's over 21. So, for instance, if you bring your parent to come take care of your children and you're married and your spouse abuses your elderly parent, takes advantage of your elderly parent, hinders your elderly parent from medical care, from medical access. In other words, frustrates the heck out of the life of your elderly parent. Your parent could file for VAWA in that situation because of the things that your parent is experiencing in your household at the hands of your spouse, or sometimes at your own hands. It's so strange for us in the African culture, maybe in the Caribbean, even in the Caribbean culture, to imagine a situation where your parent could be abused by you or your spouse, but it happens. It really, really happens. And especially when you think about the fact that some elderly people become like babies. The older your parent becomes, they become like a child. They start to really kind of think slowly, and so they become almost like a child. And in some situations, if you're not careful, or if you're not caring, or if you don't have a caring spouse, you guys could easily be abusive to your elderly parent. In that situation, your elderly parent can file for VAWA as well. So VAWA is so wide; it applies to so many more people other than just a spouse. All right. So if you're listening to me and you're an elderly woman or man, and you feel you're being abused by your U.S. citizen child or U.S. citizen child spouse who's over 21, you need to give me a call. Let's see about what we could do to help you. It also applies to stepchildren, children who are, let's say you're married to someone to a U.S. citizen spouse, and your spouse abuses your child who's not a green card holder. Your child, the stepchild of your spouse could easily file for VAWA. So VAWA is so wide. Okay, so in summary, VAWA applies to you if you're separated, divorced, married, annulled from a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and you experience problems in the marriage. It also applies to you if you're a parent of a U.S. citizen child who's over 21 and are being abused by the child or someone in the household. It applies to you if you're a stepchild of a U.S. citizen who's abusive to you. All right. It applies to you in those contexts. And finally, it also could apply to you if you're not legally married, but you live in a state that recognizes common law marriages. So those are states like Alabama, New Hampshire, Colorado, um, let's see, Texas, Alabama, New Hampshire, Colorado, Alabama, down south Alabama. All these states really, really very much do recognize a common law marriage. And so if you're living in one of these states and you look like you're married to the average person, you live together, you built a house together, you know, you have children together, you have businesses together, you've literally built a life together, or you're about to get married and you're living together now and have children together. In other words, if the average person would never know you're not married unless you told them, and you live in a state like Alabama, New Hampshire, Colorado, a state that recognizes common law marriages, you need to give me a call. Well, let's talk about filing for VAWA. Okay, so just explain what VAWA is, who qualifies, what you get. Those are frequently asked questions. And I said it in less than 5 minutes. Y'all to give me an award for that. It's hard to explain VAWA in an easy way, but I think I explained it. I think y'all got it. Another frequently asked question is, how much is the filing fees going to be if your spouse is petitioning for you on April 1st? Remember, I said on April 1st, filing fees are definitely, absolutely doubling for you if your spouse is petitioning for you. So how much are they going to be come April 1st? They're going to be $3,035. That information is absolutely correct, absolutely solid. I'm absolutely sure about that. So on April 1st, it'll be $3,035 if your spouse is on petitioning for you. All right. All right, so there's another frequently asked question right now. Then the other thing, again, I've already answered this when I was describing VAWA. Do you qualify for VAWA if you're annulled? Absolutely, as long as the annulment is part of the abuse you experienced. So an annulment is basically like when the court finds the marriage never existed in the first place. So can you file for VAWA if you never had a marriage in the first place? If you got an annulment, absolutely yes, as long as the fact that you got an annulment was part of the abuse you experienced with your spouse. Absolutely. Then another frequently asked questions list. Can I file for VAWA if I'm in deportation proceedings? Absolutely. In fact, VAWA is best for you. I mean, it's made for people who are in deportation proceedings. Do you hear me? If I tell you how many people we have gotten out of deportation proceedings with VAWA, how many people we have gotten a work permit and a travel permit for them while they're in deportation proceedings, it is crazy. And the reason why that's important is because if you've ever tried to adjust your status through marriage when you're in deportation proceedings, typically you don't initially get a work permit. You don't initially get a travel permit if you're in deportation proceedings. But I've actually been able to get a work permit, specifically a work permit for people who are in deportation proceedings, and get them out of deportation proceedings using their prima facie, and get them a green card all through VAWA. So VAWA is really good for you. In other words, VAWA, like I told you, protects you from deportation. It puts a like a stay on your head saying, "Don't touch this person." You know, like if you're a Christian, you know that scripture that says, "Touch not the Lord's anointed, do his prophet no harm." That's kind of how VAWA works. It's real kind of scripture. It says, "Don't touch this person, don't deport this person." I always say, all bets are off if you go and commit a crime. If you go and catch some couple of DUIs, you catch a domestic violence charge, or a couple of them, you go and rape someone, especially rape. You go and rape someone, or you pick up a statutory rape charge. All bets are off, and yeah, you're gonna get deported. So VAWA does protect you from deportation, but there's some limitations. If you go and commit some crimes while, or you pick up some heavy charges, or charges that are considered crimes against moral turpitude. Remember, we talked about that about 3 weeks ago, and I said a crime against moral turpitude is a crime that society doesn't like. Society doesn't like rape. Society doesn't like the abuse of children. So you pick up a child pornography charge and you're convicted, you could find you, and you're already in deportation. You know what I'm saying? You're in deportation proceedings. You could very well get deported, or find yourself in deportation proceedings because you picked up a child pornography charge, you picked up a child statutory rape charge, or you picked up an actual rape charge. That's the fastest way to find yourself back in Kenya, Jamaica, India, Russia, wherever you're from. That's the fastest way to find yourself back in your home country, even with VAWA. Okay, now, of course, if you have a good VAWA lawyer like me, we'll do our best to keep you here, but you'll be really giving your lawyer a lot of work to try to see how him or her can help you stay in the U.S. after you commit some of these crimes that are considered crimes against moral turpitude. In other words, crimes that society just doesn't like: theft, embezzlement. These are crimes that no matter where you go, people don't like. People don't like people who steal. People don't like people who embezzle. People don't like people who rape. People don't like people who rape a child. People don't like people who pick up child pornography charges. And I'm saying this because, and people don't like money laundering. I mean, money laundering is huge, 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 huge issue that I see with my clients. Sometimes I pick up right when their I-360 is approved, or right when they're about to get their green card. I get a call that my client has been picked up on money laundering charge, and usually it's a couple of million, and usually it's the FBI that picked them up. I'm talking about those kinds of charges where the FBI picks you up. If the FBI picks you up, man, I'm usually like praying and fasting that for a miracle, because in other words, you're pretty much going to be deported. If the FBI picks you up, FBI is serious, and then they don't even show up with armed. I mean, you don't even know if the FBI. They just show up and boom boom and pick you up. Bust through the door, pick you up. I mean, they don't play. So for the FBI to come and get you, you did something really really big. It's just a known fact. You did some kind of huge for the FBI to pick you up. So avoid charges that could have like money laundering charges of a million or more, or even less than a million. Any type of money laundering, that's a federal crime, and the FBI will be coming up against you. All right, so I've answered frequently asked questions. I think it's time for me to answer some questions. I'm gonna take questions live. Let me try to take some live questions on TikTok, and then I'll do IG. Jesus help me. That's the first time I'm doing. Woo! I got 44 people trying to come live on TikTok. Let me take 2 people here on TikTok. 3. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
How are you doing?
I speak English.
I do speak English. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm not.
Do you want to ask your question, ma'am? Go ahead.
connection.
Okay, give me a call if you need my help, okay? Do you know how to come off?
Yeah. You want to play this?
How do I move her? Okay.
Yeah.
Just be quiet. I'll take you out shortly. Hello, madam. Hello, sir. Whoever on the other screen. How are you doing? Shoot. I'm still learning how to use TikTok. Hello.
Where are you from?
I'm Kenyan, madam. Did you have an immigration question? How do I remove this lady? Okay, madam, try to take yourself out. Remove yourself. Oh my God. Never go live when you don't know what you're doing. Let me see. Who is this on this music? Oh my God. Give me a second. Let me figure out your move.
How to use music?
Ma'am, take yourself. Ma'am, can you take yourself off? Hello? Let me take some IG people here, like as I figure this out. I'm struggling with TikTok. What did I do? Hello? Hello? I don't know how to remove myself. Y'all know how to do TikTok?
Okay, sorry, I have a good question.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to have what does prima facie covers?
It's just a pre-approval notice. All right, and it's something you get only with VAWA. It's a pre-approval saying so far so good. Hello, madam.
Hello, I can hear you.
That's it. That's the answer.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're making it in prima facie, does that say they're still going to approve your petition or what?
No, it means so far so good. So it's a good sign, but you could still end up being denied. But most likely you should be okay.
Okay. So my other question is, I have a sister that found for.
Ma'am, it's one question. Thank you.
And a case as the
one question. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
I got two other people waiting. Hello. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
How can I help you?
Yeah, I got a question. I was in asylum and it was denied. I went to the Ninth Circuit. It was denied, and then I was married, and then I filed for VAWA, and I've got my work permit renewed and my prima facie. So my question is, my lawyer put all the papers like adjustment of status and everything. When is the right time to reopen the case so that I can remove the Ninth Circuit?
Can you please come again? I was doing something. I just want to make sure I heard you. I'm sorry. Come again.
I'm saying, like, I was in a Ninth Circuit.
Okay. You did an appeal.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Ninth Circuit, and then it was denied.
Okay.
And then I was.
What kind of case, ma'am? What kind of case?
It was asylum.
Okay.
Yes. And then when it got denied, I filed for VAWA. I've got my renewal of my work permit, and then I have my prima facie ready with me here. But my question is, my lawyer put all the adjustment of status and everything on which I know, like, I have to reopen the case. I have to close the asylum. Is this the best time for me to close the the previous case for the asylum, or what do I have to do?
So while that case was pending, you got married. Is that what that's right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, and that case is still pending, right? They did another appeal, in other words.
No, I mean, the case was denied in the Ninth Circuit.
Oh, so it's denied. So there's nothing even to think about that, ma'am. If it's closed, it's denied, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So why even bothered about it? Then just
So
focus on this option.
yeah, I thought maybe because it's closed, I thought maybe they put me the deportation thing, and then I have to reopen the case back for adjustment
Okay.
of
Well,
statement.
for the
Adjustment of
asylum, were you
statement.
originally in deportation proceedings? You were in deportation proceedings before?
Yes, yes.
Oh. Do you want to schedule a consultation, ma'am? Because I just don't want to give you wrong advice. I want to get some more details. But to answer your question, you should still be free to just do a new adjustment of status case. But you need a consultation for sure.
Okay, I will.
Is that okay? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
All right. So my question is, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can one concurrently file, like I have a VAWA pending, can I at the same time file for a T visa?
Yeah.
If
They don't contradict in any way. If you've got the money, sure.
I know it's quite expensive.
Sure. T visa right now is really working for a lot of people. It's a bit more complicated. You really have to have a lawyer that knows what they're doing. It's not a bit complicated, but it's like VAWA used to be 5 years ago. Not everyone knows how to do T visa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you said you can take 2 questions, and I'm just gonna ask it. So
you're gonna try me.
Can one? So I have like a parole. Can I parole out of the country, even when I file for the T visa?
You mean can you travel? So
Yes.
since this is a question everybody has, I guess I'll answer. So yeah, as long as you're not in criminal or fraud, or you don't have any criminal or fraud issues on your record, you should be able to travel. And as long as you're not in deportation proceedings.
Okay.
Yeah, you should really have a lawyer specifically look at your record before you travel, though, so that no surprises come up when you're trying to come back in.
Okay, I think I'll be having the consultation with you.
Okay, I'm booked till June. Did you hear that? So you need to
Yeah.
call now if you don't want to wait till June.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Someone said live TikTok alone. I want to try it one more time. I'm gonna try to add this one more time and shoot. And I hope it ain't go. I hope it go. Someone, I need a TikTok. I went. Yeah, funny story. This is the real. When I became dancing lawyer, I became dancing lawyer on TikTok. But like over the years, I stopped posting on there so much, and I just started back posting on TikTok recently. And so I was thinking, let me get on TikTok live. So the last time I did TikTok was about a month ago, and I brought people live to ask questions like I do on IG. And for the life of me, I could not figure. Somebody said I need a moderator. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna do that. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to take the people out. Let me actually text. Let me text my team member, see if he could help me out. Because I do have somebody that could do that for me. I bet he could help me out. You are so right. I just need somebody to be there. Be there making sure I'm coming. I'm coming. I see the questions. Let me see at IFA. I'm coming, y'all. Please come and moderate my TikTok. My TikTok live, please. All right. So while that's coming up, let me take this one question. Except Naomi on TikTok, we're gonna try, and then I'll do these other people waiting. Hello, Madam. How are you doing?
Hi, I have a question. I saw that now the additional status is free after April 1st. So I would like to know if I have to pay for the advanced parole and travel.
Only for VAWA. Only for VAWA, ma'am. Yeah,
Yeah,
only for
travel
vowels.
yeah.
So you shouldn't have to. On April 1st, like I said earlier, on April
Mhm.
1st, they're going to put the final fee rules. So on that day, you can check and be sure. But I don't believe so. If it's for vowel, you should be free.
So also the transfer and the travel and the oh my god the work permit, right?
On April 1st, all applications that are included and associated with your VAWA adjustment of status application should be free, ma'am. But don't
Okay.
quote me. On April 1st, they will tell you, which is Monday. So just go to USAS.gov on Monday, you know. Or get or call my office and give us your email. Call my
Okay.
office and
Thank
give us
you.
your email, and because we're going to send out a notice on April 2nd.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, bye bye. You
Bye.
know how to come off? Do you know how to take yourself off?
Let me see. I'll try.
Yeah, I figured it out. I figured it out. I got it out. Yeah. All right, I know how to use TikTok Live. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Hallelujah. Somebody asked me, I want to answer this written question before I take the next person. Someone said, um, I can't remember, make me your moderator. How do I do that? About okay. You're gonna have to show me how to make your I'm gonna send you a DM. Uh Abu, are you really gonna help me for real? If you're really gonna help me, I'll make you my moderator. I'm gonna send you a DM. My moderator. I have to write things down, y'all, because I have so many things that happen during the day being a CEO. So I had to write stuff down to make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, so definitely if you've heard that, let me just repeat what I told the other lady. If you want to get the final fee schedule on April 1st, like once the USCIS passes one out, we're going to send an email to all of our contacts. And if you want to be on my email contact list, we always send out important information such as this. Then all you need to do is call this number here and send us your email. You can also go to afulalaw.com, my website, and send us your email via live chat. Okay, so because we have a live chat feature on the website afulalaw.com. So or call the number and give us your email, and then we're gonna send a mass email on April 2nd with all this stuff. You better be careful they don't hack your account. You're right. So right. Correct. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have one of my staff do it for me. All right, now let me take these first two questions on IG. Hello, and let me take this TikTok, the person on TikTok too. The TikTok person, you wait till I take these other ones. Hello.
Hello, hi. I have a question. I already filed for VAWA, and I wanted to ask if someone can expedite advance parole.
Can someone expedite? Yeah, you can expedite anything in the immigration world. But especially things like work permits and travel permits, even after it's approved, it's always good to remember it's still up to them to send it. Because there's been times when we've expedited a work permit, travel permit, and still waited a few weeks or months later.
Okay.
So, but do your best. Yes, you can definitely try to get it expedited and just pray. Just pray to God that they actually send it to you after it's been expedited.
Oh, even if you were active on status. Like for me, I was on an F1 status. Not yet. I didn't do anything on my status. I'm still in school.
Well, ma'am, maybe you need a whole consultation. I mean, how are you even trying to get a travel permit in the first place? Is this through marriage or through which way?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, why don't you give me a call? I'll give you a whole consultation and tell you the
sure.
filing fees and
Okay.
everything. Yeah.
All right.
But
Thank
filing
you.
fees are double. They're going to be $3,035 on Monday, and there's no way we can get out your case before Monday. So just keep that in mind.
Oh, I filed both the travel document and the work permit on my VAWA case.
Why are you saying vow and then you're saying adjustment of status to marriage? Which one is it?
I already filed it. I came as an F1, then got married, and then I filed a VAWA case, not adjustment of status.
Based on the problems in the marriage, you're having
Yes,
issues.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
All right. Okay.
So I
Still
just
give me a
wanted to
call.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to give me? Okay. Or let me let you finish.
So I wanted to expedite my travel document.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have a conversation with you. I probably won't take your case just to do that because I think it'd be a waste of your money. But you can still just at least consult with me.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. All right. All right. Let me bring these next two people out on IG. Oh my God, the IG folks are not playing today, and I wanna take one person on TikTok after
Good
that.
evening, Rafula.
Good evening. How are you
doing?
doing?
Rafula, today my question is approving a travel permit and a work permit. What are the chances for getting approval on VAWA? Because recently, in my case, I got approval on 12th of March for my EAD and my travel permit.
Okay, so I wouldn't know. I'd have to know what kind of case you had to know what your chances are.
My VAWA.
No, I mean I would have to know the
So
facts. I'd have to know what happened in your marriage to tell you your chances of winning.
So my wife, she's not ready to file after getting her green card. You know, in my marriage life, there's a lot of problems.
Yeah.
She changed a lot after getting a green card. She's starting abusing me. She's starting misbehaving me, disrespecting me. I have a daughter with my wife. Like my daughter is like 7 years old now.
Okay.
So we are living together. We are still living together. I can't leave her because of my daughter. So I was on a student status and I filed my VAWA in 2023.
Well, it sounds like a very good case to me. I can never tell you on a live. If you want, I can schedule a conversation. I can tell you exactly what your chances will be. But from what you've told me, you should be just fine. But if you really want me to tell you for real, what your chances are, on a scale of 1 to 100%, you need to give me a call.
Okay, so when I call you on Monday?
Call now. I'm booking up.
Okay.
I'm getting busy.
Okay. I'll try to call you now after this call. And one more thing, Wafula. I did not receive my physical card yet. My case is approved on 12th of March, my EAD and travel permit, but I did not receive my card yet. That's
what I was telling the other person, that it takes time sometimes after your approval before they send it. But you'll get it.
Okay. Okay. So I'll call you after this call. Thank you so very much, Wafula. Nice to see you. After a long time, I'm talking to you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, madam.
Hi. I just have a question. I filed for VAWA last year, April 2023. I filed the I-360 alone.
Okay.
I didn't include the I-485 and the I-765. And I received the prima facie in November. And then, after that, I filed in my I-485 and my I-765 and I-131. I did it myself. And then I got a receipt notice from them. That was in November 29th. I got a receipt notice. And then I've been getting like a transfer notice because I filed it at the Nebraska Service Center. I've been getting a transfer notice that they transfer my case to Vermont and stuff like that. I've done biometrics and all of that. So I'm still waiting. Like, I don't know when I'll get my work permit because I really do need it. I don't know when they will start counting. Will they start counting from the time I put my VAWA in, or will they start counting from the time I put in my I-485?
No, your work permit is counted from the time you filed a work permit application, which is I-765.
Okay.
So, and it takes about 6 months or more to get one, usually. Okay, madam? It's like, okay, hello? It's like yes?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am?
Is there a way I can expedite my work permit?
Okay, the other person was already asking that. Yes. If you call, ask, I can give you a consultation and we can talk further. Or you can just or when I get off, you can rewind to that part. I've already explained. You can hear what I said to her as well on that
Okay.
topic. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. All right. If you, I need to take one person on TikTok. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good
Yes.
evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good.
Okay, please, I want to ask, how long does it take to get your removal of condition?
So I never discuss timelines, madam, like especially on a real case on live. But all I can say is it's gonna take you quite a while most times. And if you schedule a consultation, I would love to tell you the more details.
Okay, another one, what if it's pending and divorce comes in? What happens? That one too. I need a consultation.
Yeah, man, everyone is asking me two questions today, but let me be nice, madam. So you shouldn't have a problem. It's all about how you filed the 751 removal conditions application. You needed to include a lot of things on there. So give me a call and I can help you with that if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have a problem
Okay.
if it was well filed.
Yeah, it was. It's still pending. It's only that the 2 years they gave me have been extended to 4 years.
Okay, ma'am, you need a scan consultation. I'm sure you can tell. Schedule consultation. Okay, bye. So
Bye.
nice speaking with you. Oh, your name is my name too.
Yes, Elizabeth. Yeah.
Bye bye. All right. Now let me take these. Dang, I got three people wanting to come out. All right. I think this is probably gonna be my second last questions. After these people, I'll do one more round of questions on IG and TikTok, and I'll be finito for the day because it's 6:35. Hello. 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 Person not come through. Hello. Wow, I've got 1.2 thousand people watching the TikTok live. Dang. Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
Good.
I'm one of your clients. I just want to ask a question for my aunt. She just turned citizenship and she put in her kids' documents when she was green card. Now it is gonna be in a different category. It's gonna be moving faster, or it's gonna be, I don't know. What's the question?
I'd have to look that up, ma'am. I don't know everything offhand. Sometimes a U.S. citizen petitioner. Okay, she's filing for who? An adult child? Who is she filing for?
Adult kids.
Okay, sometimes a U.S. citizen petitioning for an adult kid is faster, and then sometimes, at least a couple of months ago, when I looked, a green card holder petitioner filing for adult children was faster. It depends, and I'd have to look it up. I don't have the information in front of me right now. Last I checked, I think green card holder was still faster, but you need a consultation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Great seeing you.
You too. Bye.
All right.
Correcto. Right. Okay. Let me take two more questions here. Let me do one more question here on TikTok, and then one more round on IG, and we should be done. Hello. 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 Is it that it didn't come out? Hello. All right. Let me try to bring them in again. Someone says, is it safe to travel advance pro? I've already answered that. Yes, as long as you're not in deportation proceedings, you don't have any criminal fraud issues, you should absolutely be able to travel. No problem. I saw somebody at no said, my good lawyer, hi, madam. How are you doing? So good to see you. So good to see you. Thank you for coming live. What happens when your I-360 is approved? Then typically it's a matter of time. If you already filed for green card application, that they'll either approve it or they'll schedule you for an interview, or they may have an additional request for evidence after that. All right. Okay. Let me do two more people. Uh, okay. I don't think I actually have any more people wanting to come live, so I think we'll call it a day. So, guys, that's it for today. I've answered so many questions, including filing fees, doubling for adjustment of status to marriage. For VAWA, it's going to be absolutely free. Again, don't quote me on that. On April 1st, they're going to put the final fee schedule out on April 1st. I've discussed what VAWA means. VAWA stands for Violence Against Women Act. Actually applies to both men and women who are experiencing marital problems or abuse through their U.S. citizen spouse or green card holder spouse. It also applies to you in some states, even if you're not legally married and you're having problems in your partnership with a U.S. citizen or green card holder, and you live in a state that recognizes common law marriages, states like Alabama, New Hampshire, Colorado, Texas. VAWA also applies to you if you're a parent who's being abused by your U.S. citizen adult child or your U.S. citizen um, in law. Okay, you're being abused by your adult citizen in law or someone in the house, right? And I explained how, as if you know any older person, even your parents, as they get older, sometimes they begin to become more, younger. They begin to kind of become almost like a child, like the older they get. So I'm talking about like really older parents who may have dementia or something, being abused by their U.S. citizen adult child or in-law or someone in the house. And this is typically in a situation like where the person who was brought to take care of y'all's children is now hindered from having medical access, isolated from other elderly women or men, just really isolated, really abused, really taken advantage of because they're no longer young. So VAWA also applies to uh, a parent who's being abused by their U.S. citizen child, and that's so hard for Africans, for African descent, Caribbean descent people to imagine, but it really does happen, even in African descent families. Like the chances of your elderly parent being abused by your spouse or by you sometimes, or being mistreated, it's kind of high, especially when your parent is no longer strong or mentally strong like they used to be. So VAW applies to people like that too. We discussed that in this live, all right? And I discussed and I said that VAWA also applies to you even if you got an annulment in a marriage. If you're married but it ended up in an annulment, yeah, you could still qualify for VAWA just based on, like, especially if the annulment was part of the abuse. So if the fact that you got an annulment was part of the abuse, you could still qualify for VAWA. Okay. Uh, don't be naive. You're commenting moderator on the moderate live sessions. I know. My husband is currently on immigration period. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of questions. So, and I prefer to answer these questions live. So I think what we'll do is I'll come back another time and I'll answer the questions live, especially my IG folks. If you want me to answer your question, come next time. TikTok, it was great. 1.5 thousand people on the live. Wow. I'll see y'all again. TikTok. I finally figured out how to remove someone when once they come to my live. So figured it out. So I'm gonna be back TikTok. I'm gonna be back. I actually, fun fact, I said this earlier, I became dancing lawyer on TikTok. So I'm making a comeback. I'm making a comeback on TikTok. You heard me? You heard me? You heard me? Bye, guys. Share this live, and I shared so much more than I was able to summarize. I mean, I'll get my staff to cut up the videos, hopefully, for people who missed it. But awesome live. Love y'all. Bye. Bye. Share, please. Share. Don't be stingy. Do not be stingy. Do not be wicked. Or stay. Share. Bye. Exit. All right. Into that.
I was down, but now I'm